little bit about our week and what goes on through our week and how we work together as the Republican Party. We start Monday night at 8 o'clock on the Senate floor. At 8 o'clock, we're there on the Senate floor. Most 9.9 times out of 10, we look at maybe some of our bills that just come out of the committee. We talk about them, maybe we do a couple second readers. We do a little blabbing and then we're done, really pretty much for the Monday morning. Then the caucus, Republican caucus, gets together every Tuesday at 8:30 in the morning. And we get together and talk about what's going to be happening at 10 o'clock for session. We talk about the bills that are coming out of the committee. I'm in budget and tax. Chris is in judiciary. You have energy, education, energy, and the environment, AAA, and you have finance. So you have 4 committees in the Senate. And what we do, we have leaders in each committee. And what we do, we let the leaders talk about exactly what happened that day in that committee or that week. So we talk about the whole week before of what good and bad bills that we need to challenge, that we need to try to amend, that we need to try to kill every week. So throughout each week in session for 90 days, we get together and we talk about every committee bill that we believe we got to challenge. We have amendments, and at times when we meet with the president of the Senate, the Republican caucus, we meet with him. Our leadership meets with him constantly throughout the week. And we let him know some of the bills that we know we're going to challenge. We're going to go at these bills because these are bad bills. And so in budget and tax, myself, my leader is Senator Paul Portman in Western Maryland, and I myself with J.D. Jennings, and who is Baltimore Hartford, and we also have Jack Bailey, who's a senator from St. Mary's. So we cover pretty good areas throughout our state. But we work together constantly, and we see what we need to do about the budget that we get. The Senate, by the way, got the budget first this year. We have the operating budget, we have the BRFA, which is the budget reconciliation, and we have capital. And what we do, we see throughout what we need to challenge in the budget. And as Chris eloquently said, one of our biggest concerns in the budget is the blueprint, Kerwin. And we constantly try to find ways to cut back in Kerwin, because it's not just putting a burden on the state of Maryland, it's putting a burden on our local government. Baltimore County, Anne Arundel County, any other county, Baltimore City, it's putting a burden on them because they're now more responsible for their budget and for Kerwin. And this is ongoing because each year it's getting worse. And it's not in the millions, it's in the billions of dollars. That they will be more responsible for our kids' education, which we want our kids to have a great education. But the way they're going about it is misleading. It's not benefiting our kids. It's benefiting the union. And I'll tell you right now, the first year when I was in the Senate, they did not like me. Because I stood up on the Senate floor and I told them, I'm not for the teachers, even though I believe the teachers should be paid well, but I'm here for the kids. I'm here for the students. Because I want them to be successful. I want them to have a great education. But the way we're going about it and the curriculum that you're enforcing is not good for our kids in this country, let alone in our state. So it's an ongoing problem that we've had because what they've implemented in this Kerwin bill that they did years ago, they put, and it's an add-on, by the way, it's a constant add-on, that they're saying they want to educate our teachers more, and we need more teachers. And I'm like, we really don't need more teachers. That's a burden for our state. That's more money that we got to shell out. That's more taxes, it's more fees. And we fight against that constantly. So just to let you know, Chris is right on. The next 2 years are going to be critical because it's going to go up, not in the millions, it's going to go up in the billions of dollars. And that is through AAA, education, energy and the environment, and budget and tax. And at times, some bills go through dual committees. And we have to look at them, they have to look at them. We got to see where we're at with some of our bills. But my biggest concern which I think all of our concerns for the Republican Senate is two things that we see in our country. Affordability, because affordability is a critical thing right now to our nation. But we see it in Maryland because they're constantly getting everything from one state. What state do you think that is? California. Anything that we see, that's the name, that's the state that comes up every time. Any bill that they want to do, oh, well, they're doing this in California. Why? Why? It's not working there, it's not going to work here. But every time we turn around, we see bills coming from California. And you know what's happening there. People are leaving there in droves. They cannot afford to live there. Look at us now as a state and see where we are right now. We have people that have retired and they have a fixed income. And what are we doing? We're burdening them down, just like we're burdening down our businesses. And what has happened the past 2 years or 3 years? We have more businesses leaving our state than coming in. We have less people that want to be LLCs. Why? Because of burdened down taxes and fees. It is so much, it's ridiculous. Look at just your utility bill. Look at your BG&E bill. It's a perfect example. Why would a business want to come here in any way to be a grocery store, which one of my bills was a food desert bill. And we have food deserts throughout Baltimore County. And you know what I did? I wanted to do a local food desert bill to see where we have food deserts in our area, which we do have that. I found out that I didn't have to do a bill. I could work within the department in Baltimore County, and I saved over $6,000 to $7,000 not even doing a bill. We found a way we could do it without a bill. We didn't have to do a hearing. So we're working on that right now with Baltimore County to find areas throughout our communities. We have a food desert in Turner Station, in Dundalk, throughout our areas. Now we just lost a grocery store in Essex. I guarantee you some areas around here, we have food deserts. We got to find ways where we can, more than anything, help our seniors because they need prescriptions, help out our single moms or single family homes where our kids can get good, nutritious food. We got to get these things done. And the only way we can get these type of things done is finding ways where we can get good grocery stores that have good food. But our biggest concern is this. They're leaving because they're theft. There's so much theft that they're leaving our areas. So they need to have security. And it's tough to bring those type of grocery stores to our area, but they can have security so they can be successful and make money. So they're losing so much money. So that bill, I believe, is going to be a success. We're going to find ways we can bring more grocery stores, and our grocery stores will be attraction because it's helping our economy. It brings in more. You want to bring more, you bring a pharmacy, you bring a bank, you bring others, you bring jobs. That will be a success for Baltimore County. So that's something that I think will be a benefit for us all. So that's just one thing that we know we didn't have to do a bill for. But you know, I try my best not to do things in a bill, but I try to bring money home. So one thing we do in each district, we have our capital bonds. And our capital bonds is each district has some maybe concern or area where we need to maybe improve, like the recreational parks or buildings or maybe nonprofits, which is something we talked about because accountability there, where we have food banks. We have areas where we have a community association network, which they have a place where we doubled in size. They help out our community. So when we have families that need food, single moms, or they've lost everything because they had a fire and they need food, so we help them out. So we double that in size. But there are certain things that we can do, and we reach out to our community, and we want to do a bond. We want to help you out. And that's one thing each district, what we do in budget tax. And we continue to do it every year, and we try to improve our schools. We try to improve other areas where we can benefit you. We answer to you. So it's important for me that we do that. But one thing that I got to say, the bill was a House Bill of 1532. It was called the Utility Relief Act. It wasn't in any way, shape, or form any time of relief. It came from the administration. And you would get a whopping $12.50 saving on your utility each month. And we were like, this is a joke. I'm here for the 90 days. I want some results so we can help out our families so we can help out our businesses, so we can make a difference for them. What are we going to do? These 90 days, we need to do something. So this bill came on the Senate floor, as it came on the House floor as well. And we had amendments upon amendments upon amendments. And when we have them, they're not smiling on the other side. But we're fighting this. So there's certain things that are in your bill that we try to take out. Empower. Empower is something that's implemented as a fee. We try to take that out so we can help and relieve not just you, but our businesses as well. And they wouldn't take that. Reggie, it's another charge that they have. It's a part of your bill. And if we could have got that out of the bill as well, because I'll tell you, Pennsylvania took Reggie out, Virginia took Reggie out, other areas took this type of fee out. And when they did that, they saved every constituent over $100 and some a month. We fought that on the floor. We got to no, this amendment, we can take it. We had so many amendments that we fought to try to cut back the fees, and everyone was a no. We're not going to do this. So everything that we try to do to fight for you as a Republican cause, everything that we did, it was a no. So we're still in the same place that we are, but guess what? You're going to get a whole $12.50 off your. It's a slap in your face. It truly is. And I look at these things and I'm like, really? I mean, we could have done better than this. We could have done much better than this. I mean, I've seen some of our bills, some of the bills that our grocery store had. $39,000, $49,000. And they're not going to get any relief because they did not want to take out some of these fees out of your BGE bill. It's disturbing. And you should be upset. We tell people all the time, you need to send letters to every one of your senators and every one of your delegates. Matter of fact, I appreciate the women that come down and testify in some of our bills. You stand up and you stand up for the right cause. And that's not appreciated enough. And I'm telling you, thank you very much for coming down to Annapolis. Because it means a lot. It means a lot for your constituents. We fight on the floor every day for 90 days. We fight in our committees. We've had opportunities to kill bad bills. We were able to put enough amendments to scare them half to death to make them realize we're going to be here for hours. Guess what? They didn't put the bill. Well, they had it on the list, but they didn't vote. So it was able to die. I mean, these kind of things that we do constantly, that's why we meet, that's why we talk. And some of the things that we do it because we know it's for the benefit of our people. I have so many things on here that I could talk about. But I got to emphasize a couple things that I believe was important to us. And I said it already once, but I'll say it again. Affordability for every person is so important. If you can't afford to pay your bills, if you can't afford to go and get your groceries, your prescriptions, there's a list. You have a budget. We all have a budget, right? So that budget right there is all listed out. We get so much money. Some of us have a fixed income, and we have all this money that we do. And now lately we have been like prioritizing. What am I going to do here? I'm not going to afford this. I gotta get this. I gotta pay this bill. You know, I got a car payment. I got insurance, and nothing's going down. Everything's going up. We got to find ways to manage better. And the only way we can do that is stop having fat government and taking all your taxes. That's why I put in the budget, my amendment specifically said, not one person should be paying for another person's abortion. And I'll keep on putting that in every year. Because I should be paying and you should be paying for somebody else's abortion. I'm against it. I'm for life. I'm a man that stands for life, and I believe in it. I believe in what God has put us here. God made man and woman. God said, create and multiply. Not add, by the way. Multiply. And I believe in that. But I believe in a right of life. I believe it with all my heart. But not one person should be paying for somebody else's abortion on our taxes. And I put that in there, and of course it was defeated. Chris, we fight that every year. There was one bill that they tried to kill that I I was a co-sponsor, and I was very proud that I was. It was a stillborn bill that they had, that if you had a stillborn baby, that you can have a $1,000 deduction on your taxes. They tried to kill it. They added and put an amendment on the bill, and I believe it passed. And now, any person that has a stillborn, you have a $1,000 reduction. And it passed. Unanimously. Thank you, Lord. That's just a start of things that we need to continue to fight for. You know, that's things that we need to continue to listen. I listen to you, and I hear your cry. And more importantly, I want to let you know, before I make any decision, I pray. Because I believe in a God that hears our prayers. I believe in a God that restores and heals. And you know what I do? I will always pray. And I pray to my Father which is in heaven, that he hears my prayer. And that he gives me the wisdom that I don't say what I'm going to say, but what he will want me to say. And I appreciate your prayers, because they mean a lot. They really do. I am honored to be the chaplain of the Republican Senate. And I take that seriously. Because God has put me in a place of accountability. And I'm accountable for the things that I push my finger, if it's green or red. And I take that very seriously. But I do more than anything, I will honor God before I honor man, and I said that on the Senate floor. And I will do whatever. But one thing I can say, and I appreciate Chris saying this, and he says it a lot, I believe in our Constitution. I believe in the rights that we have from our forefathers and what they put in place. And I will honestly and always stand for our Constitution and for what we stand for as an American. And I believe in everything that we've done in a righteous way, not a right way. And I believe in legal immigration. I believe in legal things because they're in law in place. And there's a proper way that you can come to our country. I cannot go to Israel. I cannot go to anywhere else unless I have a passport. You should not be allowed here illegally. Do it the right way. I have friends that have done that and waited for 20 years to become an American citizen. And he's a successful businessman, and I appreciate him. And we need to continue to fight the right for your taxes. You're the American people. I stand for you, and I stand united. And I stand because I believe in this great country that you and I love. So anything that we do it for one reason. We do it because we believe in what we do, and we'll stand with you. I got hundreds of thousands of dollars for one reason, for capital, because we're going to get a new library in Essex. We're going to help out the recreation park area that we're brand new, that's not handicap accessible. We're going to help out some of our schools to make it better in some of our areas for recreational parks. And there are certain things that we're going to do to make it better for our kids. That's the things that I want to continue to put in place for our kids and our families. And I believe in you because you believed in me for now 12 years. And I call that an honor and a privilege. And I'm here to say, if I can do more for you, I promise you one thing, I'm a fighter. And I will fight for the right of the people, and I believe in this godly Constitution. God bless you so much.
Thank you. So I'm just going to take note. We're going to have this gentleman come up and speak for a few minutes because Kathy and Robin, I guess, got detained somewhere else. But I just want to make note. I went to my first Red Scarf Day this year with Taboo, and Lynn was there. And I thought I was the guest. But the legislators, the Republican legislators that spoke to us, made me feel like I was the special person. I was the one they were honoring. So I was very grateful for that. Johnny wore a scarf, but it was actually an American flag wrapped around his shoulders. And I was just really touched with how many of you folks wanted to acknowledge the Republican women of Baltimore County and wanted to get your picture taken with us and spend some extra time with us. I was very grateful. I felt very special that day, and I felt very appreciated that day. All right, come on up. This is Delegate Bob Long, who is a surprise guest, and he's going to say a few words with us, and then we'll have a little bit of Q&A, and then we'll get down to just a smidge more business. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm just a little concerned. I don't see my picture up there, but that's, I'm here. Maybe that's a good thing. This has been one of the toughest years I've had to deal with this year. After 12 years, it's been tough down there. In our district, we've not only had the collapse of the Key Bridge, we've had other things happening that back over wastewater treatment plant, we've had problems with that. And I'm tired of going to the state and asking them what's going on. So I actually wrote the secretaries who worked under Trump. And they actually, Duffy, Secretary Duffy actually called Westmore to Washington to find out why the bridge cost 2.9, now it's over probably $6 billion. And I thought that was kind of neat. You know, I have a problem. If I have a problem, I'll write directly to the secretaries. Because the secretaries that we have in the state, they're working for Westmore. So anyway, we've used the Trump administration several times. I actually contacted EPA about Back River wastewater treatment plant, and they actually said that they're keeping an eye on it. I mean, I'm sure everybody here has heard about all the sewage they were dumping into the bay. So we've been pretty busy. Just trying to think. We did kill some bad bills, not this year, but last year. The sugar tax. I'm in Ways and Means. I've been there for 14 years, 12 years. Seems like it's been 14 years. We get all the tax bills, anything to do with education. We worked in the curling commission. And anyway, it's been a busy year. As you can see, I'm still tired. I haven't really got my energy back. It's been a battle. Last night, Absani died. Our new speaker decided to not follow the rules. And our minority leader stood up, and I thought it was going to come to blows. It was bad. They were screaming, they were yelling. It was bad. I don't know if anybody's heard anything about it or seen anything about it, but it was really bad. You know, we should have the right to speak. You know, we have to follow the rules. Unfortunately, they pick the rules that they want to follow. One of the things that I'm a big advocate is about property taxes. And if anybody follows any of my legislation, I always have bills in fight property taxes. One of the things that I had a lot of bills in this year for Baltimore County property taxes. Hopefully we get some other delegates that are going to run or senators. They'll pick up this stuff and they'll say, hey, look, these people that are in there now voted against property tax credits. You know, it's not rocket science. We're paying too much. Had a bill in for first-time home buyers to give them a tax break. They didn't want to do it, but yet Westmore wants to make housing more affordable. It's, like I said, it's been a busy year. I love it down there, I really do. I really like helping people in our district. It's really a lot of fun. I enjoy helping people. And like I said, it has been very busy. I don't want to hold you all up because I'm sure you guys have a lot more to do. But I'm Delegate Bob Long. If there's anything we can do to help you out, please let us know. And we do appreciate the women coming down. I did have a bill in this year real quick about voter ID. We see how that went. I had a bill in requiring voter signatures. Our signatures on mail-in ballots, that didn't go nowhere. We have the capability right here in Baltimore County. When you send a mail-in ballot, they go through a machine and verify it's your signature. Luckily, the Trump administration is going to do something about that. We're hoping very much. The mail-in ballots is what's got me worried. Yes, on celebration. Greenmount Cemetery took you out, right? All right. Well, we found a lot of bad registrations, but they don't want to fix them. But we're going to keep trying. Anyway, we need to get everyone out. If you know someone, please have them come out to vote. I think we have a good shot in the governor because Westmore is worse than Martin Amount. I never thought that I could see that, but he makes Martin O'Malley look good. And we've seen what happened with Hogan getting reelected, and Hogan said it was hell of a freeze over before another Republican got elected. Well, guess what? It could freeze over again. We need another Republican governor. And you have my word, my commitment, that I'll help whoever comes through the primary to help them get elected. I think that's going to make a difference. Hopefully we won't get down there and get the heck beat out of us all the time and stuff. Anyway, thank you for coming out, and thank you for letting me have this opportunity to speak. Thank you.
Thanks for pitching in here. So we're going to skip over Q&A. Maybe these fine folks will hang out and we can do some private Q&A.